On BBC London 94.9. Meanwhile, back to Croydon. Gavin Barwell, the Tory MP for Croydon Central. We've had reports not just of one fire tonight, Gavin, in Croydon, but of several.
Yeah, that's right. I think. I mean, there's a major fire at Reeves Corner, and they look like there's a number of other fires on the London road.
And your reaction as Tory MP for Croydon Central, if you can sum it up in words.
I'm sickened to see this happen to my town. I think my first thought is with the businesses and with the residents. You know, although it's a mainly shopping area.
As that clip illustrates, Croydon isn't my constituency, it's my hometown. Most MPs aren't from the place they represent, but I'm different. I live here. I have done since I was a few months old, and that makes me a better MP. I use the same hospital, the same rail service, the same shops as the people I represent. When constituents come to talk to me about a problem, I immediately know what they're talking about. And as I hope I showed in that interview, I'm passionate about Croydon, about getting people to invest here, making sure it gets a fair deal from central government, and improving the public services on which we all depend.
As a local teacher, I think we need an MP who spends time in local schools, understands the issues in the area, what the young people are going through, and I think in Gavin we have that.
I believe the MP should be someone from the local community.
Croydon has great potential to be one of the most economically vibrant places in London. I need an MP who's going to bring those plans forward, who's going to fight for young people to be able to get a place on the housing ladder, and I think Gavin Barwell has those qualities.
In my work as an MP, I see the terrible environments in which some children grow up. Neglected, abused, or even killed by the people who should care for them, and I realise how lucky I was. I had two loving parents who doted on my brother and I. Both Mum and Dad left school at 16. They were determined that we would have the opportunities they had missed out on. With their support, I managed to get a scholarship to Trinity School, meaning I could go there without my parents having to pay any fees. Everything I've achieved since is down to the start I had in life from my parents, and the fantastic all-round education I got at Trinity. That's why I'm so passionate about education. I want all young people in Croydon to go to a great school like I did. But I got more from Trinity than just a great education. I also made lifelong friends there. Along with my family, they're the most important people in my life. If you're not careful, being an MP can go to your head. My friends have known me for over 30 years. They don't treat me any differently now I'm an MP. I know I can rely on them to make sure I don't forget who I am and where I came from. But although I've been lucky in so many ways, life hasn't always been plain sailing. When I was 7, I was diagnosed with cancer. I'm still here because of the NHS. It's not perfect, but the principle that if you get sick or hurt, you don't have to worry about whether you can afford treatment is one of the very best things about this country. And when I was in my 20s, our family had to rely on the NHS again as my dad started to suffer from dementia. Watching him being taken away from us, piece by piece, was the toughest thing I've ever been through. We will be forever grateful to the NHS and charities like Croydon Crossroads and the Alzheimer's Society that supported us in those difficult times. Each year I do a sponsored walk with some friends around the boundaries of my constituency to raise money for local charities. It was great to have the chance to give something back to those charities for the help they gave us when we really needed it. I've had one other huge slice of luck in my life, and that was meeting my wife, Karen. Like me, she grew up in Croydon. She works for the NHS as a speech and language therapist at Applegarth Primary Academy in New Addington and at Woodside Health Centre. I couldn't do what I do without her support. We now have 3 sons, Jack, who's just started at secondary school, and Sam and Jamie, who go to the local primary school. Being an MP isn't easy. I wake up before 5:30 most weekdays, and I'm often not back until 10 at night. There's lots to do at weekends, and even when I'm not working, I'm always on duty. There's a cost to my family, both in terms of not seeing as much of me as they have a right to expect, and a loss of privacy. And it's a heavy responsibility. The decisions I have a hand in taking affect the lives of millions of people. but I'm not complaining. Representing my hometown in Parliament is a huge honour. Whether they share my political views or not, I hope all of my constituents feel that they have an MP who cares about our town, who works hard and who makes an effort to communicate with them. I'm proud of what I've achieved over the last 4.5 years, but there's so much more to do to make Croydon the place we all want it to be. That's why I'm standing for re-election. But this campaign isn't just about who your MP should be, it's about Croydon, about the great place it can be if we make the right choices. So if you want to see unemployment continue to fall, if you want to see rising standards in our schools, if you want to see the borough cleaned up, if you think I'm doing a good job as your MP, then please get involved in my campaign and help me change our town for the better.